And I know that you know that space intimately. So I wonder what goes through your mind when you've seen those images and now this reporting in just the last few minutes from the Associated Press, which has been documenting it, that it's gone.
You know, it's just sad. Honestly, it's so sad because we did so much good work there in the East Wing. It wasn't just about the building. It wasn't just about what it stood for or the history. It's about the fact that it was the people's house and we welcomed people in there. People who had never been in the White House before, little kids running, dogs running through, Christmas and holiday decorations. It just is a representation of all that's happening in this country right now. And it's just so sad to see all those memories and all that history kind of just go down in a matter of minutes and days.
Give us a sense. I mean, the time that you worked there, is there a particular memory or two that kind of summarizes to you the importance of that part of the building, the East Wing?
Right. There are so many memories, and I think some of the most important ones were the ones where we had people walk through for tours or events. The first thing that they would hit was the East Wing, and to see their eyes just light up when they got inside the building was just something so magical that they couldn't believe, and it was just so nice to see and kept the magic alive in us. But I think some of the greatest things that I remember is when we would have elderly Black people come through the White House, because they come through and they just kind of have this sense of a Black family living there, something that they thought they would never see. And some of those are the best memories that I have of just having even just my family come through and my nieces and nephew come through. And so all of those, us being able to bring culture and people and memories to that space is something that I'll never forget.
Yeah, I have vivid memories for the 3 years that I worked, mostly at the end of the Obama years, bringing family members there. And they really couldn't believe that they were there. And you must have seen that over and over and over again as the tours went through. So let's talk about the specifics of this, though. What are the rules and regulations that should have been followed to undertake something like this? And the idea then of building something more than double the size of the main part of the White House?
Number one, it was not needed, nor was it necessary. No one asked for a ballroom. No one needs to have a bigger space.
Well, the president said every previous president wanted this.
That's not true. No, we never asked for a bigger space. If we needed a bigger space for something,
Michelle Obama never said only if we had a bigger room.
No. We went outside. That's what the lawn was for, right? We used the lawn as much as we could. The protocols and procedures and policies were never followed to go through the right commissions, to check with the right people, to kind of go through all the checklists that happen before you demolish a building. The policies and procedures weren't even followed if I wanted to demolish the building that I'm in, that I live in, you know, like this. And this is a historic building, you know, so this is a thing where I just think that it's a representation of everything that we're currently living, and the fact that it just happened so fast. It happened just now, it's gone, you know, without at all any kind of checks and balances and due processes. This is exactly what we're living in right now.
Well, the White House says it will eventually, I guess, send the ballroom plans to the National Capital Planning Commission. And that is in charge of such projects. But my understanding is it's now led by a majority of Trump allies. So without independent oversight, people who care about things like history and preservation and just keeping the integrity of the most famous building in America. What are your concerns right now?
I mean, first of all, I don't know why anybody would believe anything that they say about sending plans to anywhere. So they say things and it never happens. So I don't believe any of that. And I don't believe that they care about what the people think or they care about the preservation of the building. I think they care about power and they care about image. They care about grand gestures. And let's see how we can make this political theater and have some outcry. And, you know, it worked, right? But I just don't see or just don't understand at all this whole we're going to follow rules now that we didn't follow rules already. Like, I think you'd have to be a fool at this point to believe that.
What are the conversations you're having right now about this with fellow staffers, former staffers?
I mean, there's so many conversations. I think I avoided this for a little bit because I was working on other issues like SNAP and housing and healthcare. But then when I started to see the actual demolition, my emails obviously got lit up pretty fast around, this is just so sad to see our building is gone. Do you remember what we did in this building, in this space? Do you remember that event that we had, or when we welcomed people inside? Or do you remember when we had, this party? And I think people are just reminiscing right now in their sadness. and are just reminiscing about the time that they were in that building, because all of us, regardless if we were visitors or if we were staff, could not believe every day that we were in that building. All of us. So I think that we are all kind of grappling with that.
Deesha Dyer, it's good to see you, and thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you
Thanks.
for having me.